Hi, my name is Ashley, and today I will be discussing tips for supporting children and adolescents with mood disorders. We encourage you to use this video as a starting point and to talk to your school professionals about your students' specific needs. Also, please call 911 immediately if you ever have a safety concern. To start off, mood disorders are a type of disorder that impact emotions, energy, and motivation. There are two main mood disorders we are going to cover: bipolar and depression. First, we will discuss major depression. Statistics suggest that 1 in every 5 students experiences serious depression symptoms. COVID-19 has increased the prevalence among children and adolescents. Your student is not the only one, and fortunately support is available to make things easier. Major depressive disorder has a similar diagnosis for children, adolescents, and adults. Your school team can help by being aware of these 9 common symptoms: depressed or irritable mood, a loss of interest or pleasure, a change in weight or appetite, the inability to fall asleep or sleeping too much, psychomotor agitation, which cannot be due to substance abuse, a loss of energy or fatigue, feelings of worthlessness or guilt, impaired concentration, and thoughts of death or suicide. Genetics play a part in major depressive disorder in children. Additionally, stressful life events, low parental support, harmful environmental exposures, and coming from a disadvantaged community can also impact major depressive disorder. To support students with depression in schools, we often focus on tiered or leveled supports based on the level of their needs. In Tier 1, which is prevention support for all students, we provide school-wide social emotional curriculum, mental health literacy, suicide prevention, and trauma-informed practices. Tier 2 interventions are provided for students who need additional support. These can include the Check and Connect program, in which a student is paired with a school staff member who will provide additional support, as well as group counseling, where students will learn coping skills and how to emotionally regulate. Tier 3 is the most intensive tier, where school practitioners provide individual counseling, special education accommodations, and referral to outside providers. For students who need intensive support, ensuring a strong home-school relationship is essential for their social-emotional success. Next, we will discuss bipolar disorder. Prevalent statistics suggest that 1.8% of children and adolescents are diagnosed with bipolar disorder. There are two main forms of bipolar disorder, type 1 and type 2. Bipolar 1 is characterized by manic episodes which consist of a persistent, elevated, or irritable mood for at least 1 week. In these cases, symptoms often present as inflated self-esteem, decreased need for sleep, more talkative than usual, flight of ideas or racing thoughts, distractibility, increase in goal-directed activity or psychomotor agitation, and finally, involvement in activities that have a high potential for painful consequences. On the other hand, bipolar 2 is characterized by hypomanic episodes preceded by or followed by a depressive episode. A hypomanic episode is similar to a manic episode in that it presents with the same symptoms. There are some differences, however. The primary difference between a manic and hypomanic episode is the duration and severity. A manic episode may last 1 week, whereas a hypomanic episode is closer to 4 days. Additionally, psychotic features may be present with a manic episode, whereas they are not common in hypomanic episodes. Hypomanic episodes are noticeable but do not interfere with occupational or social functioning, whereas manic episodes often do. With both bipolar 1 and 2, it is important to rule out whether the mood changes are attributable to any substances. Similarly to depression, bipolar disorder is also impacted by genetics and environmental factors. When looking at the physiology of bipolar disorder, it's important to know that individuals with bipolar disorder have been found to have abnormalities primarily in brain regions involved in emotional regulation, which include the prefrontal cortex and temporal cortex. We support students with bipolar disorder within the tiered model as well. In Tier 1, we utilize universal screenings and implement social emotional learning curriculum school-wide. In Tier 2, cognitive behavioral therapy can be presented in a group setting. Students will also check in and out regularly with a counselor. In Tier 3, we conduct individual counseling sessions. These counseling sessions can also be included as a direct service in a 504 plan or IEP. Finally, students may need to be referred to an outside provider where their needs can be met more appropriately. Thank you for listening. Attached are some additional resources for support or more information. Thank you.